I'm just a guy on the internet. A guy who happens to have been fortunate enough in his business life to never have to work again, and who just happens to like making video. So today, something a little different, a bit of a Q&A, because so many of you have posted smart, thoughtful comments and questions on my last few videos. First up, it's a comment on my video about picking the right credit card every time. Henry Strauss wrote, "You should do a version of this video, but with cards with points and not cash back." Hey Siri?
I'm here.
Can you take a note?
Okay.
Henry, I'd first have to do a video about why I prefer cash over points, because points don't have a fixed value. They vary wildly depending on how you use them.
Got it.
I wasn't done. The best value is often obtained by transferring them to a partner or finding that perfect booking for a trip that never seems to be the trip you actually intended to take. Points go against my minimalist approach that seeks to get the most benefit for the least amount of time or effort. Maybe I could do a comparison of the best and worst case scenario of 100,000 points versus $1,000 cash. Would that be beneficial? You guys let me know in the comments too. Yes, I do let Siri type for me sometimes, but it seems I spend as much time fixing what she wrote as just typing it myself. Next up, Jimmy Liao on my latest video wrote, "Great video, Dave. Would love to hear your thoughts on growth versus dividend stock/ETF investing strategies. My portfolio is currently all focused on growth ETFs, but more recently I'm thinking about switching my strategy for dividend ETFs. I haven't dabbled into stock picking yet, especially for the long haul. Thanks." Jimmy, as far as growth versus dividend investing, the short answer is there's a place for both. The long answer might need a future video. Generally, the pros would say to shift from growth to income as you get older or closer to retirement, because you have more time to make up for losses when you're young. You've probably heard the old allocation strategy of keeping your age in bonds, as in when you're 20 years old, you should be 20% in bonds and 80% in equities. I can tell you for a fact that I've never followed that rule, not even close. This really should be a future video. From Albert, wow, loved the video. It's good to know that I'm doing something right for once. Aside from that, how do you feel about Acorns? Thanks, Albert. I have mixed feelings about the whole spare change investing philosophy. I really like the idea of people being systematic about regularly taking money and investing it for the long term. But the spare change thing is such a gimmick and unpredictable and kind of rewards you for buying stuff, which might subconsciously make you think, yeah, I can buy another coffee because 78 cents will be invested for me. It works for some people. I'm glad that people actually are investing on a regular basis, and if it takes a gimmick to do it, that's fine. For me, taking a look at income and expenses and making a conscious decision about how much to invest is a better way to do it. You can even set up auto pay from your checking account into your brokerage account and do that every month. Or most payroll services will let you specify multiple accounts, so you can say, put $400 in your brokerage and the rest into your checking. Being intentional about it also saves you that $1 to $3 monthly fee that Acorns charges, which, if you think about it, that's a pretty big percentage of your Acorns balance. I would just use a no-fee broker and buy an ETF directly. Here's a question from Mateo. He asks, can you make a video about the intricacies of when/how to pay your credit card balance? I've always set automatic payments of the full balance on the due date, but I've noticed that on some cards the balance is carried on to the credit score report because the automatic payment initiates a bank transfer that can take a few days. I noticed this when the due date fell on a bank holiday, so the transfer was delayed until after the weekend. I didn't pay interest, but my utilization increased for the month, lowering my score by a couple of points. No biggie, but annoying. Do you recommend making consistent manual transfers and leave the automatic payment as a just-in-case situation? How can we trick the system? Great videos, by the way. Thank you, Mateo. You've come to the right place. I love tricking the system. For me, I set my credit cards to pay the full balance on the due date. I'm not as concerned about the balance being reported to credit bureaus because I have a ton of available credit and my utilization is always low, even if the actual amount in dollars is high. So that's my way of tricking the system, having way more available credit than I actually need. And I should add that it is great that he's paying his balance in full every month. That payment history and not missing a payment is huge for your credit score, and only using credit cards for things that you can actually afford and pay off is a must for financial freedom. Credit card interest, the absolute worst kind of interest. This is not sponsored, but an app that I really like is Credit Karma. It tracks both Equifax and TransUnion and does a really good job of explaining why your score is what it is. Next up, Nikki. Wow, what timing. I was actually looking into some high-yield savings accounts myself. I love it when a plan comes together. I think the one thing that struck me as really disturbing, interesting is more appropriate, was the fact that you said you're retired in your 30s and basically generate all your income and wealth through investments. Now, I'm an engineer and really enjoy the work I do, but while I don't seek to make the kind of money you do, I certainly am curious about how to stretch out the money much further as an alternative stream of income. You seem to allude to this a bit on Dumb Money. But then again, it seems at a glance that a lot of that content is easier to apply when one already has a healthy amount of wealth in store. I'm fresh out of college engineer with no debt, but also no wealth. So then my question kind of stems from, well, I have a good $0 annual fee credit card. I'm maximizing for benefits, putting my money in savings and mutual funds and 401ks. How do I make actual money relatively soon, short of throwing a ton at a startup I think is great and risking it all on going big? Or is the answer, yeah, no, wait a bit and make some money, run a business, and then you join us in the world of finance when you have more time under your belt? I'm not very interested in risk, so yeah, love designing stuff. A lot packed into this message, but Dave, it's been amazing watching your channel and videos, and I'm so glad I found you this early on. Absolutely love every second of content you make. That was a long comment, but I love it. Nikki, thank you so much for the comment, and I will try to respond to everything. When I retired, I certainly didn't stop working. I just started doing only the parts of the job that I liked most: team building, big ideas, product design, marketing. And I did those things for myself or a company that I owned a substantial portion of, instead of for a big company that was just paying me a paycheck. Before that, I had a corporate job at Yahoo. That was from 1999 until 2009, long before the company essentially disappeared off the face of the earth. That corporate job and their stock options and bonuses helped me work my way up the corporate ladder and afforded me the opportunity to eventually quit and partner with some of my good friends on a startup company. We sold that company for a lot of money, which afforded me the opportunity to fund other startup companies, sometimes working for them full time, other times just consulting or advising. As a young engineer, I would think that you're in a great position to work and earn good money while you learn what you might eventually want to do. Make contacts. Don't feel stuck in a job that you don't like. Engineers are in high demand. Earn and save as much as you can, and eventually there might be an opportunity to go out on your own and do something that you know will be best for you. So of the two scenarios you mentioned, I'd say the second for sure. Don't throw all of your savings into a risky investment. Wait for the opportunity that you think is right for you and where your skills as an engineer might be most beneficial. So best of luck to Nikki, and thank you all for the comments and questions. Hopefully you found this video interesting. I've had some comments that say I should try to pack more info in, others that say I should go more in depth. I think it was a good video, but it's really what you think that matters. So if you've made it this far, two ways to let me know: the like button and dropping me a quick comment. You never know when I might pick a comment and send you something. The person who got my Back to the Future reference a few weeks ago got this lovely pair of socks and an Amazon gift card, so you never know. In fact, if you were one of the 5 comments that I featured in today's video, I'm gonna send you a Hey There TV t-shirt in one of 4 minimalist credit card designs. Let me know if you think I should or should not do Q&A videos like this more often. Maybe I'll pick your comment and send you something. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Dave Hanson.